So we're going to be learning how to make connections as we read. Do you like to play with the connecting blocks? Lots of kids do because it's so much fun connecting things together. You can see that the blue block and the green block fit really nicely together. Did you know that you can put things together when you read as well? Good readers make connections as they read. There are three main ways we can make connections as we read. The first is text to self. Have you ever read something that reminds you of you in your life? For example, you might be reading about Tom riding his bike. He falls off. It might make you think about a time when you fell off your bike because you know what it is like to fall off your bike and you can understand how he feels and know what will happen next. Okay, let's read about Henry. Henry loved getting ice cream. He was so happy that Grandma was taking him for a treat. He ordered his favourite, strawberry. Then the worst thing that could happen happened. The nice round ball of ice cream fell off his cone and hit the ground with a splat. Did reading that remind you of something that has ever happened to you? If it did, then you made a connection of text to self. Reading the text reminded you of something and about yourself. The second kind of connection is text to text. Text to text is when one type of text or story reminds you of another. You might be reading one story, one non-fiction book, and it might make you say to yourself, this reminds me of another part of a book. Let's look at this part of a book. Donnie saw what happened. He felt sorry for Henry, so he said, I will share my ice cream with Henry. This part of the book reminds me of another book that I read, and that book was all about sharing. The third type of connection connects the text to the world. And the world means anything that is going on around you. It can't be something that happens to you because then it would be a text to self connection. It can be something that reminds you of someone you know, your mum, your dad, brother, sister, a dog, grandparents, or it could even be a place that you know, like a park or the school, that sort of thing. When we read and it makes us think of something that is not ourselves or a book, then that is a text to world. Listen to this part of a book. The boys enjoyed the ice cream together, and when it was done, they picked up a baseball and played catch. Grandma smiled because she liked to see Henry feeling happy. Does that remind you of anything? It reminds me of watching my son play baseball in our backyard. Because this reminds me of someone and it's not something to do with me, then this is a text to world connection. Making connections when you read is fun because you're reading and thinking about the things that you really know about. When you think about what you know, it helps you understand what is happening in the story that much better. Making connections is a great reading strategy to know. You should practice doing this as you're reading. So let's have a think about the making connections reading strategy and what we've just talked about. Text to self reminds you of you in your own life, something that you have done. Text to text reminds you of another text, something else that you've read and you know about. And text to world is something in the world, something that you're connected to. As I said before, the making connections reading strategy is a fun one to use, and it's something you really need to practice.